Mr. Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
Like, they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They'll be like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
After it was revealed, Melly was spotted in court looking anxious. Bortlen, Melly's co-defendant, has until tomorrow to make a decision after being presented with a 16-year plea deal. If found guilty, he faces 5 life sentences plus 75 years. As his offer document for a plea consists of 2 first-degree murder charges, witness tampering, leading a criminal team, and further witness tampering accusations. He would be released within 10 years if he accepts the plea offer, which reduces the sentence to 16 years in prison with credit for time served.
Henry, do you understand the offer that the state is making to you? Okay, you're charged as follows. Counts 1 and 2 is the first degree with a firearm. Those are capital felonies, which means it's a mandatory life sentence. If the jury convicts you of count 1 or count 2 as charged, that's life in Florida State Prison. I have no discretion. Count 3 and count 4 are accessory after the fact to the first degree. Those are each first degree felony. The maximum penalty for each of those is 30 years in Florida State Prison. Count 1 is tampering with a witness in a capital felony. That is punishable by life in Florida State Prison. Is directing the activities of a criminal. That's a first-degree felony punishable by life. So the maximum penalty there is also life in Florida State Prison. Count 5 is conspiracy to commit tampering. And again, as it's charged, that is also a life felony. As to all the charges that you're facing, the maximum possible penalties are as follows. Life in Florida State Prison, followed by 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 75 years in Florida State.
However, there are 5 reasons why they are negotiating a plea agreement with Bortlen. The first is that Bortlen participated in an interrogation the evening of the crime. Bortlen was asked by the officer if he knew who had done it. Additionally, it was intriguing to observe Bortlen's reaction.
Telling me the truth, even if it's something that I don't want to hear, but I respect the truth rather than BS, okay? And it's a simple question. If you knew who did this, okay? You may or may not know. If you knew who did this, would you tell me? It's either a yes or no question. Answer.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly. The truth. You wouldn't?
Because I wouldn't want to be a part of it. I wouldn't want to be.
Since Bortlen was afraid of speaking and providing the policeman body language that would suggest he was lying, he shook his head. No. However, the officials don't think Bortlen committed the entire crime because they already have proof that Melly admitted to it, which is another reason why he's been offered a plea deal.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
That's why they're making the offer to Portland. Melly's retrial has been rescheduled once more, as reported by the news. The trial will now take place in January 2027 instead of September, after the Court of Appeals granted a delay during a hearing on August 8th. However, it was anticipated that the feds would target Bortlen in order to get a plea agreement, as the news. However, the Melly trial has been subject to a no-communication order. Melly and Bortlen are totally cut off by the edict. No chatting, no lawyer conversation, since the feds don't want the teams of Melly and Bortlen to collaborate on their plot to have Bortlen turn on Melly. Initially, Melly and Bortlen were to be tried together, but Melly's portion of the trial was postponed.
Here, and you can try them together. It is to the benefit of the state to try them together. It's just more efficient. You don't have to do things again and again. Do it all at once, and also you get a better chance of having them incriminate each other during the trial. It benefits the defense to sever it. That way they can point the finger at each other and get away with it. So this is what's going on. But I don't think it should be automatically severed because the state is seeking a penalty for Melly, because it's only the penalty phase of the trial that would be different, not the guilt phase. The guilt phase is the same. They're both capital crimes. They're seeking the penalty on one, not the other, but that goes into the second part of the trial, the penalty phase, only if Melly is found guilty.
Bortlen will be a key witness in the case against Melly if the feds can convince him to support their position, because he is aware of all that occurred and can attest to everything Melly did. Bortlen cannot accept 5 life sentences for Melly if he is aware that he didn't commit the crime, because it will end his life. Since Mellier attempted to pin the crime on Bortlen during his first trial, Bortlen has also been less of a fan of Melly recently.
For his lives, Cortland Henry shows up at Memorial Hospital, Miramar. You don't see him sitting there, but where you will see him sitting is in the driver's seat of a car with 2 bodies, car riddled with bullets. And when he shows up with a change of clothing, change of shirt, powder residue on his hands, evidencing that he had discharged a firearm. And he lies. He lies about where the incident occurred. He lies about how it occurred. And he lies about not having a phone. I think it was Miss Bradley herself who said, everybody has a phone in his pocket, not Cortland Henry.
Bortlen was reprimanded for lying to the federal government, having powder residue on his hands, and being the last person to pass away with a sack chaser in juvie. The meaning of the powder residue on Bortlen's hands was discussed by a detective working the case.
So the right hand of Cortland Henry contained 0 particles characteristic of powder residue and two component particles. And the left hand contained 1 particle characteristic of powder residue and 1 2-component particle.
Okay. And can you explain to us what that means?
Basically, overall, there was powder residue present on the hands.
When Mellier's mistrial occurred, Bortlen tweeted, "Mind games don't work on people like me." He included a handshake emoji, as if he were accepting a bargain, because he detested being called out. And this was before the addition of witness tampering charges, since they discovered documents during the raid on Bortlen's house that suggested he intended to influence the jury.
Police co-defendant YNW Bortlen was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortlen, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortlen allegedly tampered with the witness.
As previously revealed, these are pictures of purported notes found during last week's home invasion of Bortlen's residence. Given that these images display sketches that Bortlen created that describe the jurors' seating arrangements and appearances, it appeared as though Bortlen intended to remove a juror or sway their verdict.
Keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortlen, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on. It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro. Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. They're like, oh, okay, thank you, brother.
It becomes problematic since they have proof that Fredo Bank picked up Melly minutes after Sack Chaser and Juvie drove by in the automobile.
And Chris Thomas are. So what you're also going to find out is while Mr. Devins is out there on the side of the road, 4 in the morning, 4:42 specifically, he sends a drop pin, digital homing beacon, to his current location to one of his friends, Frederick Givens. Frederick Givens is also involved in the music industry, and he asked to be picked up. Frederick Givens, then about 11 minutes later, is sent another drop pin where Mr. Devins has moved a couple of meters. What you're going to find out as well, though, is these digital leashes, they have more than just phone calls.
However, in an attempt to prove that Melly was a member of the Red Street team alongside Young Thug in this Facebook post, they are adding street team charges to significantly extend Melly's sentence.
Same thing, the use of the slap term, 5-point star, snake. He's saying he's YSL, and he puts up his YNW for life hashtag on it with Mr. Devins has the big B hand signs displayed.
Okay, and these individuals again, I'm assuming that's also Young Thug. That's also unknown.
Yes.
Also important to your investigation, correct?
Yes.
Also publicly available for anyone to see and test.
37, Melly got into an argument with his lawyers as he attempted to tell them to simply let them use it. According to reports, Melly publicly defied his legal team's advice for the first time during today's session.
Yes, sir.
Against our advice, our client wants to proceed.
You objected to it. Their request we need to determine if it's automatic stay.
Based upon what our client has instructed us, yes, sir.
People in court heard that Melly was saying, I don't care. They can't prove that.
I'm aware that 924-071 call for an automatic stay while
they were aggravators. They go to membership and again, there are things that the jury would have to find before going into penalty.
Not aggravator, that's the death penalty. Aggravator, that's the enhancement itself, Your Honor. That was charged. He was charged in committing the murder for the further conviction, which is an aggravator in terms of the guilt.
Something that they would have to find by way of an interrogatory.
Yes.
Because Melly wanted to avoid having to split the profits from the YNW business with Sack Chaser and Juvie, he approached King Vaughn and asked him how to deal with those who were stealing too much of his money. This led to another witness hearing where Melly expressed interest in removing Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Vaughn really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Vaughn was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walter Bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
This is not just another witness against Melly, but it also reveals the financial motivation behind her crime. He faces tampering charges, which carry life terms, in addition to the 2 M counts. Because Melly instructed his ex-girlfriend to leave the country so she wouldn't testify against him, even before Bortlen attempted to tamper with jurors. She stayed out of the country for 3 years to protect Melly, but when she returned, she was caught right away.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
It's out of her hands, she commented on Facebook. I am grateful to my village. I adore all of you. Not my plan, but God's. Because the tampering accusation involves a life sentence, even if proved innocent for sack chaser and juvie. Melly coerced her into not testifying. According to iCloud data, between her and Melly,
filing 6 new charges against Demmons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
And that's where things stand in YNW Melly's case, with plea deals on the table, new witnesses stepping forward, and old secrets coming to light. As Bortlen weighs his future and prosecutors build their strategy, the next few months could decide everything. Will Bortlen take the deal or risk it all in court? One thing's for sure, this story is far from over.